that is humongous and great. Job gave a whole chapter to explain this thing. It is very dominant in the church. Yes? Very, very dominant, very prevalent in the church of the living God. And it is something that we as children of God must be aware of and do our utmost best to avoid. And we'll show you how this can be done. Job, let's look at Job chapter 41. And we're speaking about this thing called the Leviathan. And there's a lots of write-up on this spirit of Leviathan. I say Leviathan. There are lots of write-up on this spirit or this creature. It's an aquatic creature. It's a sea creature. But when you look at this sea creature, some theologians describe it or see it as a dragon. Others see it as a sea snake. But one thing stands out most, and what we want to pay attention to, because it is that which God hates. And it is that which is very, very, like I said, popular, very prevalent in the church. And if we examine ourselves and be honest, more often than not, it is seen in us. It's not only seen in us, many of us boast ourselves of it. Yes? We're not going to read the entire chapter of Job 41, but we're going to just see if you can get an understanding of this creature, NLT, understanding of this creature. Then we're going to go to the bottom of the chapter, the verse 33 and 34. Can you catch Leviathan with a hook or put a noose around his jaw? Can you tie it with a rope through the nose or pierce its jaw with a spike? Will it beg you for mercy or implore you for pity? Will it agree to work for you, to be your slave for life? Can you make it a pet like a bird or give it to your little girl to play with? Will merchants try to buy it, to sell it in their shops? Will its hide be hurt by spears or its head by harpoons? This is a serious, serious sea monster. I don't believe you want to see this in real life. If you lay a hand on it, you will certainly remember the battle that follows. You won't try that again. No. It is useless to try to capture it. The hunter who attempts it will be knocked down. And since no one dared to disturb it, who then can stand up to me? Now, let's go to verse 15. The scales of its back are like rows of steel, tightly sealed together. They are so close together that no air can get between them. Each scale stick tight to the next. They're interlocked and cannot be penetrated. When it sneezes, it flashes lights. Its eyes are like the red of dawn. Lightning leaps from its mouth. Flames of fire flashes out. Smoke streams from its nostrils like streams from a pot heated over burning rushes. Its breath would kindle coals, for flames shoot from its mouth. Okay, you can read the rest of it when you get a chance. Let's go on to verse 33 and 34. In essence, this is letting us know what this sea-like monster is like, what it is about. But it bears many characteristics, but I want us to pay attention to these two verses. Nothing on earth is equal. No other creature so fearless. Of all the creatures, it is the proudest. It is the king of beasts. Another version said it is the king of pride. Nothing on earth is its equal. Nothing is its equal. No other creature so fearless. Of all the creatures, it is the proudest. It is the king. Let's use that word. It is the king. The king of pride. Leviathan. Leviathan. So here you have, when you look at chapter 41 of Job, he dedicates the whole chapter to describe this monster. What stands out most, as you can see, about this monster is that it is a monster of pride. It is a creature of pride. So with all the many characteristics that it has, what stands out most is pride. So it is known as a creature, as a monster of pride. Pride. So when you think of Leviathan, you think of pride. Now, there are three, I call them 3 P's that helps us to understand a little better the nature, the characteristics of this monster. One is 3 P's. The first P is position. The second P is power. And the third P is possession. He is strategically positioned. He is in the sea. And since we're seeking to lay a foundation, we're not going to go into all the details of it just now. Maybe next Sunday, God's willing, if God would have it. So we just want to lay the foundation so we get an understanding of it. But his dwelling is in the sea. He lives in the sea. Sea in Scripture represents nations and people. John the Revelator said he stood on the sand of the sea and he saw a beast rising up out of the sea. Most of us, when we read that, we actually think of some sea monster coming up out of the sea indeed. But no, sea doesn't actually mean sea as in the ocean. John did not see any monster coming up out of the sea with 7 heads and 10 horns. It's figurative. Sea represents people and nations. So here is a beast, or the beast means nation, rising up out of the people. A nation is being formed. And in Revelation, the nation speaks to the nation of the Roman Empire. That nation rose up to power and takes control. Here, Leviathan is seen in the sea. It lives in the sea. It lives among the people, the nations. Position, P. The first P, position. Second P is power. Powerful. No man is able to tame, no man is able to control it. Mighty, powerful. So position, power, and possession. Possesses all the stuff that makes him or her full of flair, full of pomp. Her scales, or its scales, so closely knit together. No one can open its mouth, no one can close it. Listen, what she possesses strength. Awesome strength and might. Powerful. Here, power, position, possession. I want you to think of those 3 words. And you could not get a better metaphor than that is described or explained in this sea monster. None can describe pride as good as this does. Everything she has, everything it has, power, well placed among the people, and has it, possession. Think of that. Power. Listen, people fight for these three things. Mankind fight for these three things. We want power. If you listen, since we're children, you beat up your little brother and take away his candy or whatever he has to show him that you're bigger than him. Power. Or your little sister show you're bigger than her. Power. Yes? You want to show yourself more powerful. That's what's happening on the streets today with the gangs. Who is more powerful? Who must submit to or subject to? Power. The politicians, power. Control the people, power. Now let's bring it all home, church. Because the idea here, saints of God, is we're not focusing on anyone, we're focusing on ourselves. It's the church, power. Power. Pastors get in position, become powerful, and take possession of the people of God. Pastors become positioned, pastors, apostles, prophets, take position, and with that position becomes powerful, and with that power take possession of God's people. And here God is saying, listen, I am the Lord, the King James Version says, the Hebrew, I am Yahweh. He said, that is my name, and my glory will I not share or give to another. So let's bring it home. With these, position, power, and possession comes pride. With position, power, and possession comes pride. We're still laying a foundation. Pride. It has been plaguing mankind for all our lives. Pride. You know what? The thing is, pride is not it's not limited just to mankind. Pride affects celestial beings and terrestrial beings. As a matter of fact, pride began with the celestial. Pride began with an angel. Before it came to mankind, it came to an angel. Let's look at some scripture. We're still laying the foundation. Let's look at two scriptures, Isaiah, and then we go to Ezekiel. Isaiah 14. And with these same scriptures, we'll see how the position and the power and the possession bears out. And keep this in mind, saints of God, no matter how you turn it, pride has one aim. Pride has one end result. What is it? What is it? Destruction. You know it. One result. No matter how far you get into it, it has one result. Pride will bring destruction. Pride will bring destruction. And that is why you've heard me say repeatedly time and again, I am not one who go for that word, powder you. I don't powder nobody.